Support picked up later into drafts, actually going to pick this very early on. And that will leave what open for Giants. Logged in the Nidalee coming into the jungle, so priority on that pick more towards Giants.
No, please. Maxlore hovering the Nidalee. Smittyj deciding what he's going to play while hovering Yasuo.
Yeah. Smittyj used to be this player who's very well adapted to the carry meta, so hovering over champions he used to play, like the Riven, but actually going to lock in the Maokai still, with that one being available. So again, just looking to play for the team, right? Looking to go for those fights, looking to group up as 5 and just make it happen, which was really what solidified that last game. Unicorns here, next to pickups. Thinking about the jungle right now, what's still available. Kindred's still up, Elise still up.
Yeah, there's a lot of options you can play into this Nidalee. Elise, for quite a while, at least on 610, was the favorable choice, just because of her pick potential. I think right now the Unicorns just need to go back to comfort picks that somewhat make sense, and then make sure that at least you're not playing with just a double threat composition. Get Chachi something that he can at least have a little bit of an impact on damage-wise and spread out your resources. That's what I would do if I was in Sheepy's shoes.
Let's see if he follows your thought process there. What are we looking towards? So, waiting for 1 second until we lock in these picks. Not going to be a Nautilus. It's going to be that Elise and the Viktor going into mid lane and jungle. So, just kind of generic picks coming out here.
Yeah, just stealing a strong teamfight champion that can fend for itself in the mid lane. There's no hard counter picks really to the current Viktor, at least left in his draft. So that means Exileh should be able to do fine in the mid lane. They can still see how hard they can delve into damage in the top lane right now with a later rotation top lane pick. It's not about seeing the Maokai, it's more about seeing the rest of the composition. And Unicorns of Love prefer to wait a little bit more on the AD carry and on their top laner, as Giants reveal 2 more picks on their rotation.
We'll see what it's going to be looking towards the mid lane here, and possibly something else. We have the top lane and jungle locked in, so probably going to leave the support maybe now or a final pickup from Giants. But there's so much left on the board. It's we're in a very different meta where it's not like you have to pick these champions right now. And they will lock in the Karma and the Ezreal into the mid lane. So Ezreal still high priority up there.
Saw some changes though.
Yeah, got hit on 6-11.
Yeah, ultimate doesn't last that long.
3 seconds.
3 seconds, doesn't speed up your allies anymore when they go through it either. The speed up is now built into the Karma. A little wary though for Giants if Knight falls behind. Now they have the problem where they're very two-dimensional in terms of damage output. Maxlore kind of helps that a tad though if he gets going on the Nidalee.
For sure. Unicorns of Love looking for an ADC here and looking for a top laner to really define what they're looking for here. Something to get into fights could be on the board. I mean, Ashe is still available, Sivir as well, which they're hovering, which was banned last game actually from the Unicorns of Love. And what are we looking for? So we're seeing more Nami being picked up recently, along with the Karma. Love these range supports. I've still yet to cast a single Zyra game, but we saw a lot yesterday.
Yeah, I think it'll be picked up next week in scrims. I think a couple, select few teams scrimmed against each other, and then the other teams just weren't aware. That seems to be what kind of happened there. I'm not a fan of the Nautilus support whatsoever. I don't think it's going to have a large impact. It can't get...
Well, it's going to be top lane.
Oh yeah, top lane. I'm like brain lagging here.
Top lane Braum.
I'm still not a big fan of Nautilus, even in the top lane. There's a reason just so little people, so few people rather play it.
Yeah.
But, it used to be a conventional pick into Maokai because it could still have an early ramp, like an early spike, push it in pretty much consistently with Riptide being spammed out, and then having large impact on teamfights. So Unicorns can make this work. So whereas last game they were kind of stuck getting their composition to work, this is pretty much straightforward. Group press R, get CC to stick, and just murder whoever you see first. Only a single tank on the side of Giants, and a lot of targets that are easily blown up if they get some of the damage spells connected in their face.
Interesting win rate there for Ezreal, only 22%, 2 and 7 right now. But yeah, it's just interesting to see Nautilus again, because he's really just disappeared with the advent of more carry top laners coming in, just better, people who do his job better right now, honestly. And Riptide got nerf battered over and over and over again. You really can't have the same spike early game that you used to. So we'll see if Unicorns can make it work. We have the full compositions and the full lineups right here once again as we head into the second game. And just trying to, I guess, run at the opponent here from Giants. And maybe see more fights around that mid game, or maybe even the early game. We're going to see as we get into this one. But once again, use the hashtags, tweet at LOL Esports, UOL win or GIA win. We'll be tallying up your votes and seeing what you think later on. But we'll be getting into the second game now for Giants Gaming and the Unicorns of Love. We'll see if the Unicorns can make it the 1-1 or Giants can actually 2-0 and sweep this one. They've already picked up the first win, so they're on the up and up.
Yeah, but we'll have to wait just a fraction of a second longer as we have a bit of a pause going on.
So we'll update you on that one for now. Right now you can see the players on the screen all facing each other.
Yep.
These are game faces.
Technically not facing each other, but
No,
it's an
they're not.
illusion.
Yeah. Spoiled it, crap. I mean, you can see them right there, but...
Oh, where did they go?
Whoa! So yeah, just
Subtly
waiting for
sitting.
this pause to resolve. We're going to get the information on that one as soon as possible and relay that to you guys, but still waiting here.
Yeah, we got to talk a little bit more about this game. Giants on the cusp of going for potentially a 2-0. It'll be a lot harder composition to play. Compositions without crowd control require more finesse. Sure, they can snowball one ahead, but they leave you with less options when you're slightly behind. And that is sometimes the problems. Unicorns, I like what they've drafted because they have a lot of easy gameplay elements. You know, Cocoon into follow-up. You know, Viktor is a pretty straightforward champion. You can play it well, and you can expect your teammates to know what you're going to do in these fights too. Braum Sivir, however, into this Karma Ezreal might be a really rough matchup, so we might see another lane swap here for the Unicorns.
Well, we are 3 out of 3 on the day, so we'll see if we make it a clean sweep.
History repeats itself. We may be in for a snooze, a lane swap in the early game.
I want to see what the first dragon is as well and see if it's the cloud, because we've been getting... it's been very cloudy on the forecast today, unfortunately, for us here in the studio. But we had... Oh, you can hear the summoner has reconnected there. We have just jumping back into the game there from Knight. He had a little problem there, so we're seeing if we can get this one resolved. But it looks like we are resuming the game and finally getting onto the rift. There we go. So Giants will be coming in here onto the red side, and there it is, the Unicorns onto the blue.
I have some great news for you.
What is it?
It is the dragon of choice for today.
Sunny skies.
Sunny skies there. Infernal is predicted to spawn on the map, and barring any major complications, it will in fact spawn on the map today.
Yeah, yeah, it would be weird if we just saw something else. Oh, we even got the duck coming out here.
I wonder if we could release some dragon skins. Be like, you know, Infernal Drake skin for the Cloud Drake.
Yeah, just wearing like a big onesie. This is like, well, definitely not Infernal. Oh, Hylissang, he's around this Infernal Dragon area. But right now, I don't think we're going to see too much in this early game from them. And let's take a look at the keystones that they're running. I don't think we're seeing anything out of the ordinary. Just, yeah, Strength of the Ages for the junglers, and top laners going for Grasp. Actually seen some tanks go towards Strength of the Ages as well. I've seen a couple of Maokais do that recently.
These guys will be in each other's melee range quite often, though, in the vicinity of CS. So it's still worth going for Grasp here, despite the nerfs it has hit. If we get to the laning phase, because there's a good chance that Unicorns of Love want that lane swap, because that is a really tough matchup to play 2v2.
So we're going to get out of that one. We're going to see tanks up in those 1 versus 2s now. And yeah, so Hustlin and SONSTAR. I don't know what they're really doing about the Dragon area. That doesn't spawn
they're going for a delayed invade. So they want to hide around the corner as long as they can. Because they don't want to reveal on this ward exactly here. They're doing the safety checks into the bushes, and then they'll likely get some information. If they don't find anybody on Krugs, lower in lane, they can immediately know it's a lane swap, get the information to the jungle, make sure that top laner is careful of getting gibbed rather. And we have a good old-fashioned lane swapperoo.
We do, 4 out of 4. And see what happens in the mid lane. Maybe the more interesting lane for at least the first couple minutes of this game, but it is a Viktor Ezreal, so...
Instead of judging the lane swap, I'm just going to be harshly judging the CS here.
Yeah, this one.
Ooh, he's trading.
Yeah, a lot of damage.
Trade first, CS later.
It's actually pretty good for Knight because he got the auto attack and also the cast minions aggroed onto Exileh. Hustlin just trying to annoy move as he walks into his top side. Doesn't land the Soul Flare, so...
He's too late. Like, if he's going to go for that, he should do that at the start. No, he's just...
Didn't immediately move up. But Smittyj in the top lane, of course, just trying to get all the farm that he can. I really do like looking at the... go ahead, Scrapo.
No, go on. He's doing perfectly fine.
Yeah, he's fine. And we're just seeing both these guys just take this one. But just talking about 1v1s, really interesting to see the small mechanics that go into it. The All-Stars event was very interesting with the 1v1s.
Yeah.
A lot of people were just like, oh, this Frog and Faker matchup's so boring, just both playing Anivia. But there's like a lot of interesting things, small, tiny things that went into pretty much every minion that went down.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth and just slight side steps, obviously pre-positioning for next skill shots. Touch briefly on this lane swap. The only thing that mattered of consequence is the fact that Giants did not path downwards with Smittyj, so he had to use his teleport to get into the exact same position that Vizicsacsi is in. Maybe slightly more experience. He also made a creep invulnerable. Exileh right now, taking some damage, still has exhaust, gets a shield from Q.
Exhausted out from Nice, so the flash
drops.
after and actually kills him. That was a lot of damage coming at the end there. I'm not sure if that was like a Thunderlord's proc or something, but I was not expecting him to die from that last soldier. Yeah,
that could have been a Thunderlord's proc or just simply, yeah, there was no exhaust counter used by Exileh, so that was the full damage. But that's sloppy play here from the Viktor.
Yeah, I mean...
And you're so used to that never happening when you watch some of these mid laners, so you can calmly talk over it.
Yeah.
Because every time you get hyped for the trade, it's like, ah, he's fine.
Yeah.
And he just drops.
I'm just watching him once again. He's gonna... He flashes back. Caught him on Conquering Sands, and then the flash, and then the auto attack from
traveling auto.
Yeah. So still a lot of damage coming out there from Knight, but it was really weird in terms of the play pattern from Exileh, because he stepped forwards, was trying to put some damage in return, but because
he tried to counter trade. Let's see, let's not watch it again. So trade starts here. No follow Blazer because that's not there yet. Walks back into the zone of the soldier. One more. Now he wants to get the shield up from Q. That's why he steps forward. And I think he tried to exhaust, maybe was out of range. And here the E connects, as you said, and then same time, well, the Q connects, I think, rather, and the traveling auto attack from the soldier hits. So that's just a late flash, honestly, from Exileh. Another really mistake that shouldn't be happening on this level of play. So you can definitely tell that he's definitely new to the stage.
Yeah, for certain. But still, that one kill over to Giants and that 1v1, really not what you want to be happening. A wave ahead plus that kill. How we're looking on top lane is not as dire as the first game, but Smittyj still ahead in terms of that CS. Now, Infernal's going to be started off by the Unicorns. Giants know this is happening because they walked over the crab, so I'm not sure they can disrupt. I mean, Maxlore's on his way down. It's only down to half. They can definitely disrupt it.
Infernal deals a decent amount of damage.
Too. Spear lands on him. This could very well be a kill. Swipe the takedown. Move's going to have to back away. Maxlore's still going to chase after. He's level 5. Repel comes up. Hylissang is coming over the wall to try and assist. Maxlore's going to get chased down a little, but Knight comes into the fight. Going to come with the Emperor's Defied. Completely whiffs, and he's just getting a dog piled on. Unicorns of Love take him out.
Oh my lord. Yeah. How does one eloquently put this? That was bad.
Yeah, that was
bad and over-eager, because not only was the execution of the play bad, the whole merit behind it was just over-eager. Maxlore as well, this flash is going to follow. This is great. Fantastic here. Peels them off the dragon. 2v1 out level, and then this here. If the spear hits, he's dead anyways. Like, going for this flash when the repel is still up is just a major mistake. Cocoon misses luckily. Maxlore should have been dead here already. And then Knight does everything wrong you could do wrong here and just sacrifices his life, and this puts the enemy Viktor back into the game. It goes to the Infernal to Unicorns. They don't lose any tempo because they went for the risky dragon. So this could have been the final nail in the coffin. Despite all that, Giants is still more than 1,000 gold ahead though.
Yeah, it's of all the players on Giants, you don't expect Knight to be the one to do it. He's usually the guy who is mechanically very, very talented. Oh, flash out there from Smittyj in the top lane as Chachi almost landed that hook, but yeah, he literally found the one place in that fight where he could land the ultimate for it not to hit anyone.
There was still a cost though. Usually teams go for that dragon after they take the second tower because they can make it a team operation. It goes a lot quicker. Because Unicorns went for the tower, it stalled out. They did not take the bot tier 1 down, and now the defensive lane from Ezreal Karma is pushed in there, so Unicorns will probably not take that tower down for quite a while. In addition to that, due to how the lane swap started and Smittyj TPing a little earlier, he's also farther ahead of Vizicsacsi. That's where the main advantages and the goal differential is coming from. That's why if that dragon backfired a little bit harder and the Unicorns met more of a conservative jungler on the enemy side in Maxlore, the game would have been simply over.
Yeah. Next dragon's going to be Mountain as well, so we'll see if teams try and contest that once again. Most likely. So we're going to take away this red buff, but Yeah, very odd start to this game for sure. Chachi's actually gone for the Corrupting Potion into Dark Seal, so you usually see that out from like Echo, sometimes Maokai as well. People who aren't going to die, so they get a lot of mileage out of that. So
yeah, he caught up on CS now, pushing his wave in. There's no dive potential on Smittyj. Once he gets to level 6, it'll be impossible too. That window has closed. Exile got a little bit of breathing room due to that play, but Unicorn's side lanes are definitely still behind. Let's see how Giants play with this pressure.
oh, Knight still got the upper hand in mid lane. Lands 4 auto attacks with that one soldier alone. Couldn't come in with the Emperor's Divide. Exile goes in, but Move might be able to finish off the kill. It's going to be close. Transfer of power, and Exile will eventually pick up that kill on tonight. That was, yeah, that was a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, Knight got kind of baited in here.
Yeah.
He underestimated Exile. He's like, why is this guy trading with me? He must be like terrible. No, it's simply because the jungler's behind you. And then he tried to play his way out. And the snipe here from SONSTAR. Korean Ezreals, man.
Yep, you didn't even see it coming. Banana from nowhere. All right, let's take a look at this. So Knight aggresses because he gets so much damage onto Exile from this one soldier.
Yeah, and at this point, yeah, he just commits for the play. Yeah. I mean, it's very close. If it wasn't for the exhaust that Exile was carrying, that would have been a straight up 1-for-1 kill. Maybe even make his way out of there, so you understand. And then SONSTAR moves back. I like this. He just moves away and then goes for the ulti.
Out of vision.
Look, he pings it first. He's like, guys, this is exactly where I'm going to hit him in the knocker. And perfect goal between two approaching members. That's like the perfect banana.
Yeah.
That's like the Shikita of Ezreal ultis.
Yeah, Exile did not want that intake of potassium there for sure. But yeah, kind of weaved it in between. Didn't even have the damage reduction after hitting someone. So really nice Q. Really nice ult coming out from SONSTAR. And small things like this start redeeming him coming into these
Perhaps
games.
he's the skill shot master.
Yes.
He's not made for CS. He just landed a lot of arrows.
Yeah,
Ulti
maybe.
too.
He's all about those clutch ults. But again, mid lane still trading off. Knight, regardless of all of this, is still ahead in terms of farm. Top line, as you mentioned, is equalized. Jungle, big advantage to Maxlore so far. Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
But equal is behind for Giants bot lane because Sivir Braum matchup should not be an equal CS usually in terms of how this game plays out. But due to the lane swap, obviously, they managed to get past their rough point. And right now, they actually have all-in potential. If the Braum Q connects, they can actually one-shot whoever because, yeah, simple block on the E blocks Ezreal ulti, destroys all the projectiles that come towards Veritas. And now this lane is quite potent.
Tower will easily be going down. Great thing about Sivir is you can hit the tower and still clear out the wave using Ricochet. And yeah, Veritas will just finish that one off perfectly. And got that tower equalized. So in this game, there's still a slight advantage to Giants in terms of gold. First dragon, of course, went over to Unicorns of Love. Next one will be up in just over a minute. And the crab has already been secured out from the Unicorns, as well as a lot of vision around the area. So Giants will want to try and clear some of that out in a second.
Yeah, Giants definitely looking for objectives to maybe stay in the game here because they lack the engage potential to land raw damage. Need to work through mobility and greater positioning. Pressure through minion waves, if anything.
Knight's going to push in the mid lane here, get a bit more damage down. And really it's just both teams gearing up for this potential dragon coming up and just clearing out a lot of these wards, clearing out the traps, clearing out everything they can. And in terms of item builds, Veritas just working his way towards the Essence Reaper, as per usual. Not really seeing anything out of the ordinary. Chachi's going to try and jump back to his tower. Will get speared down by Maxlore. Great initiate from Smittyj. Will burn the flash from Chachi. So
yeah, good flash
up there.
Needed to get out of there. Exile still getting pressured in by this Azir. Knight really likes playing matchups in where he can push. Favored the Vladimir too, where he played decently well, pressuring at least. Giants, they want to stop the setup from the Unicorns, make sure they're not picked off anywhere. Because in the inevitable dragon fight, it's going to be rough for Hustlin to have as much as an impact as Hylissang, for example.
Will be, but now Unicorns are actually starting off this mountain dragon here. And is anyone really in range? There comes SONSTAR's ultimate, blocked out by Hylissang. So not even gonna really actually assist that.
Yeah, here's Chachi TP in the bottom though. He got cancelled a little bit while trying it back earlier. Now it's here.
Smites away by Move, and now all Giants are coming in. Ultimate lands onto several people from Hylissang. Everyone forced over the wall. So much damage coming out from Knight. He'll pick up 2 kills. That's the 3rd kill. Actually, Chachi will pick that one up. And meanwhile, he's onto SONSTAR, but she'll be able to finish off with the Ezreal. And Exile's now being chased down by Smittyj. His ultimate is going to time out. Hustlin Flash Q will secure another 4-for-1. Giants get those 4 kills for the Dragon.
Yeah, that was a great fight here by Giants. Everybody dropped so low, and what an outplay where Giants failed in the initial collapse on the first Dragon, where Knight kind of screwed up, honestly. He had a fantastic ultimate in this fight and really carried it home. SONSTAR eventually finished off Vizicsacsi in the back, so that looked pretty decent at the start for the Unicorns. Looked like Giants really arrived too late, and we're going to get kind of AoE down. Let's watch this again. Unicorns start this Dragon. The impact from this Hylissang ulti is massive here, so he gets a double knock-up. And then Maxlore gets stunned here, doesn't get bursted down, and Knight buys enough time, redirects traffic for his jungler. That was a fantastic ultimate, shoving them out of the pit.
Yeah, all lined up, and they were all so low, and SONSTAR was even able to pick up the kill against Nautilus, and from there on out, it was just an easy chase down. Hustlin just chiming in there for another kill, but yeah, well played by Giants. Again, talking about the early game, talking about grouping up, and that's really when they start shining. Knight is putting himself in this game, SONSTAR having actually another good game.
Yeah, Knight would have had this tower already, I think, if it wasn't for the changes made to Azir. Can't use that W on towers anymore. So need to wait with that. Just actually whack away at it yourself.
Yep, try and take it out.
3,000 gold lead here for Giants.
Yeah, they are definitely getting ahead in the early game this time. Chachi was looking for that dredge line on tonight, but he was pathing just behind the tower to defend himself from that. But Unicorns will still have these dragons, so they need to keep track of that. Next dragon is going to be Cloud. So may see less priority around that one. Unicorns still clearing around the vision area. Now backing off. So what do Unicorns need to do now? I feel like we were in the same position in the last game where they had this very snowball-y comp, which didn't snowball, but now we're in a similar position in this game where every time they go for fights, they just kind of die.
Definitely, they just need to make picks here. Layer the CC. Good into follow-up from Hylissang. Concussive blows, rather. That's a lot of season there.
It is.
This late on the day. Yeah, stack CC, but it's so hard because Giants seem to be ready for these fights, and Hustlin and Maxlore have pretty good synergy here, constantly moving together, so it's incredibly hard for Unicorns to pick them up. Zone control is fantastic from Knight, always moving his soldiers up one by one, so he's kind of staying out of harm's way. And now Smittyj peeled down. And quite some damage on this turret. SONSTAR is kept in the game here. 2-0-3, access to a decent amount of farm. So he's not put behind, so things are looking great for Giants.
Yeah, pretty much. Just scaling on up. Nicely 2 picked up as well. And now just pushing in the mid lane over and over and over. Unicorns of Love. This might be trying to respond. Hustlin just removed from the map straight up.
Yeah, like that's exactly what they need to do when the confidence turns into hubris, and at points people just get too bold. That's why you need to strike, though. You need to immediately punish. Yeah. Hustlin takes the wrong path into mid lane and pays for that lesson dearly. That
was the wrong neighborhood to be in for him. But yeah, I mean, there's so much picking potential from Unicorns, as you were mentioning. Chachi, move, Hylissang, all great ways to get that to go. But I mean, if someone just kind of walks into your crosshairs, you also want to just kind of kill them. Exile, so much damage out from Knight. It's taken from 100% down to him having to go back to base. And that's just an easy tower down mid lane. Here comes another true shot barrage. Close, but did connect it.
Close, but no graves.
Yep. no kill, unfortunately, there. But Sundisk will come up, and the push will continue down mid lane. Yeah, this game is just still looking bad for Unicorns, and probably, I don't know if I want to say worse than the first game, but still not better than the first game.
It's going to be a tall mountain to climb, especially when Hustlin is doing a great job like he is right there with deep vision. Look at the wards that Giants are placing in enemy jungle. If you can see the picks coming, you can actually use that to your advantage and lure these guys into, yeah, again, false sense of security. Just like, oh, oops, I'm a damsel in distress here. Please don't, you know.
Please don't kill me.
Yeah, please. It's a little dark, but usually damsels in distress aren't killed, but I guess in this story they are.
Really?
But yeah, they can use the favorable gameplay for Unicorns against them, lay out a trap, and then obviously Knight can swoop in.
Save the day.
Save the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Which in this case is a 2-0 for Giants.
Yeah, that would be good. 2-0, considering the track record so far. But just show that maybe they will be one of the stronger teams down in the bottom half of the table. Knight has found move. Repel comes up, and there's the TP from both teams. Veritas coming in here, who's trying to get away. Braum will be following after. Vizicsacsi into the fight. Hylissang and Exileh as well, but he's going to drop very quickly. He's going to flash away, try and get to safety. Ultimate comes in once again by SONSTAR, lands onto 5 members. Good cocoon on to Smittyj, will stop the aggression.
Yeah, pick from Knight onto the enemy jungler move, but that was so close to getting killed there on Exileh. All the return damage would have happened. Hang on, Knight.
Good dredge line on to Knight, but there was no real follow-up. And the team was already there from Giants to stop that from happening.
Yeah, Maxlore's spear was so close to connecting on Exileh in that fight. If that hits, he drops instantly. And the Unicorns have to run with the tail between their legs. Instead, there's return damage and peel, and then a heal speed up, and a good sidestep from Exileh. So one spear could have turned that entire fight.
Yeah, very true. Now, in the mid lane, Dredgeline did not connect this time onto Knight, and he's easily able to clear out the rest of these minions. Hylissang's going to jump to safety. Nope, you stand in front of me, and then Maxlore, looking for that spear, did not connect. So whenever Unicorns try and go for a play, they're just immediately stymied out from Giants, able to just respond with less members and completely stop the push. So yeah, not looking really too hot for Unicorns. Next dragon is now live. It is the Cloud, so it's not even like they gain a lot of advantage from that. But if there is any way, then maybe they can secure all the dragons, then get an Elder Dragon later, and just try and win off of that. But yeah, right now Unicorns are kind of running out of options.
They're just looking for picks here, but they seem to be turned around. A very condensed kind of style of gameplay here from Giants, and usually that means major loss in farm on either your AD carry or mid laner as they try to share the same farm, but they're doing pretty well right here. SONSTAR's always slightly behind Veritas, always ready to join these fights. And again, aggressive vision here, building up on that first line of vision that they built earlier. Moving in right now, Smittyj checking the Death Brush. Really calm approach. Maxlore a little low in mana here.
Yeah, meanwhile in the jungle, just kind of going toe-to-toe, and there's a lot of posturing in this game before we get those bursts of action.
Yeah, and the next posturing phase will go on for quite a while, I think, until the Baron is live. And not only that, until we're a couple of minutes in. So this is usually where the game slows down, despite when teams are ahead, because they need something to be a catalyst for a fight.
Yeah.
Much. You can't just say, like, hey guys, let's fight them. No, like, doesn't work. Unicorns are not going to fight you for no reason. You've taken it out of turrets. It's too hard to really isolate a tier 2 tower, so you want to play for vision around Baron, and then eventually use the Baron as a bait.
Well, there goes Rifheld. He's gone back to the Void, and right now it's looking overcast on the Rift, as the next dragon will be Cloud once again. So neither team will really want to jump after that one.
No, definitely the focus will be on the top side of the map here.
Yeah.
With that Baron that just spawned.
Indeed, yeah. Benefits you really get from that Cloud Dragon aren't fantastic, and unless you're making a lot of rotations, even then it's just not fantastic.
The accelerated rotations.
Yes, by half a second per dragon per lane. But you do get a full second back if you go from base to mid lane, so there you go. Every little counts. Oh, top lane, another flash by Smittyj.
Yeah, and in the vague distance, we also heard the Sivir ulti being used by Veritas there. That's actually one of those examples. That's one of those ultis I never see. I only hear being cast.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really understand Sivir's battle plan, because she gives a lot of warnings to her opponents. It's like, hey, duck, or here, catch this. And it's just like, all right, I guess I'll just thank you very much. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if you didn't see the giant metal ring flying at your face.
True, but maybe you were turned around, like you didn't see it, and then she's just going to give you... Because you can still duck, right, if you get the audio cue from Sivir, so...
Do you trust that, though? I mean, in the layer of mind games, it's like maybe
that's true.
She wants you to duck into a spike that's sticking out on the floor. Who knows?
Maybe. Maybe, yeah, set them up for Nautilus, an anchor flying out of nowhere. Maybe that could be the thing. But honestly, no, I think Sivir, despite being like a bandit, is actually a very truthful person. You know, every single time she is I mean, it
would be for Veritas.
Yeah.
Must be something truth related in Latin or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no follow-up to that. I don't speak Latin, unfortunately. But perhaps that is the case. Let's have a look. Hylissang is rotating mid lane here. I can see you're doing some research there, Crefo.
I was actually going to Google it, but never mind.
Did not work out?
Let's go back into the game. Yeah, this keyboard is really hard to type on,
yeah.
you know.
It wasn't a type of vacuum cleaner or anything.
It wasn't a type. No airblade. It wasn't actually even a vacuum cleaner. Those airblades are actually you know.
Yeah, you probably don't want to use a boomerang for that. Doesn't help too much. 22 minutes into this game, 4-2-6, and both teams, well, as you mentioned before, don't have a lot to fight over. And bot lane,
I mean, this is literally
heads.
tea time. From 19 to 23 minutes, generally not much is going to happen other than the setup for the Baron phase. So that's why we can expand on lovely topics such as Illaoi, the architecture of that Azir turret. Quite much anything, really.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm a little sad that Unicorns of Love didn't bring out the Illaoi once again. We saw it on stream 1 today. Did not catch that game, but we'll be catching up on that one for sure. But yeah, Chachi was not really successful with the Illaoi pick yesterday.
Yeah, they're pinging the Baron pit, but they forgot to sweep the back, which means Unicorns of Love are going to be completely aware of this going on. There's no pink ward in the pit. Always, kids, always sweep your Baron pit first.
Yep. Remember, oh, here comes the TP. He's coming out. Giant kind of just turn around and maybe get a collapse coming out. Smittyj teleported very deep into Unicorns of Love. He'll be falling. SONSTAR will pick up a kill first off, but that's a 1-for-1 trade so far. SONSTAR will be coming in, and that's another 1-for-1 trade. Chachi onto the back lines. He's onto Hustlin himself, but he's separated from the team. Only Exile and Chachi are alive to try and deal the damage. Maxlore's going to jump in and pick up that kill. Double kill, triple kill for Knight, looking for the final one for the Quadra to the Azir. That'll be a 5-for-2.
Quadra kill for Knight here in what seemed like a great fight at the start from Unicorns, aware that Giant started Baron. They were poked down, flying for Vizicsacsi. The SONSTAR got evaporated by Exile, but then suddenly Knight is still alive. A really good scoop there in the middle of the fight, and then he turns it around, quarter kill. So now, that should be the final coffin here for the Unicorns. If that plan failed, Knight's is going to go off in the next fight.
Yep, Giants now trying to convert that into a mid lane tower. Hylissang rather trying to defend it, but he is just a lone Braum, so what's he going to do in this scenario? Not much. And yeah, that Giants fight really accelerated tempo. Let's take a look at that. Smittyj went very deep.
Yeah, Smittyj went into the front line. He was keeping them busy, soaking up damage. SONSTAR waited with his ulti until the Braum shield was gone. So at this point, SONSTAR and Smittyj have dropped. But look at Knight here, really good positioning. Gets Vizicsacsi off him, then turns to Exile, turns around to Vizicsacsi, waits for Exile to step back into the fight. Not enough damage. Helps out Maxlore at the end. Yeah, really good awareness here. Target switching on point for Knight.
Oh, flash out there from SONSTAR. Let's see if the hook follow-up landed, but not quite today. Really nice from Knight. Had some really good follow-ups with Conquering Sands and Shifting Sands and his ultimate, following that kind of misstep coming in from the bot side. See, actually, the damage in the last fight, even though it looked like Knight was going
almost feels
ham,
like inaccurate.
Yeah, because it was actually Smittyj doing a lot of damage. Wow. Well, he got in there very early and landed multi-man ultimate and Qs. But, I mean, Maokai does do a deceptive amount of damage. People forget that.
Yeah, just because he's labeled as a tank. At this point in the game, that's one of the reasons why tanks became that good, is because their base damage, relatively speaking, just do so much damage. Right now, Giants looking for another Baron burst here.
That's going to be close. SONSTAR actually picks up the Baron there, and now they turn their attention to the Unicorns of Love. Hylissang does not connect the ultimate onto anybody, and looks like Giants will probably just be backing off. They're quite happy to go in there. Unicorns, yeah.
And learning from their mistakes too. Giants disengaging from this fight, not endlessly sending Smittyj forward, as sometimes they do in the weeks before right now. They're hesitating, do we pincer, do we base right now? Because we see Maxlore on the outskirts of the fight, bottom left here, looking for some cheeky spears. Yielding that tower for the Baron that you got is more than fine on the side of Giants. Make sure they just don't lose a single member here. Group up, use that Baron buff. Yeah, this Maxlore, this is just not good.
Great dredge line from Chachi, but Maxlore kind of lined himself up, but now Giants are going to come into the fight. Big Emperor's Divide, he is CC'd up for now, but the rest of the Giants are coming into this one. Veritas goes down, Move is dead, Exile not even here on the map right now, and Hylissang can't even escape. He'll be dropping, trying to draw people away. That'll be a quadra kill for SONSTAR, who's just picking up kills left and right. Chachi may able to set him up for the Penta.
They're setting him up, they're setting him up.
There's nowhere where he can really go, and they can CC him forever. Alright, everyone back up, let's SONSTAR pick up the kill! Penta kill for SONSTAR! A fish in a barrel!
Look how he walked up there and auto-attacked and right-clicked the Nautilus. What a beautiful finish.
SONSTAR turning it around.
Look at the sheer amount of emotion on his face too.
Yeah,
Joy all around. No, but that was a really good setup. I like that the Giants were doing that. Motivational moments like that, very important.
It really is. Good for the team morale for sure. That's ecstatic, but they'll be backing off to base, and that was just such a big win for them. 5 kills regardless.
I mean, you don't do this if you're Maxlore. This is a mistake. I mean, it flashes out in time. Knight, again, you know, has to save this fight. Let's follow SONSTAR. That's Exile 1. As you go in, just keeps on attacking. Landing a lot of Qs here. Veritas drops immediately because he's trying to tunnel on Knight, and then, yeah, really good chase here. Obviously, Hustlin is constantly speeding SONSTAR up, so nobody can get away. And at this point, let's see how this happens.
Smittyj is just like, okay, W, lay the CC, make sure he can't get anyone.
Body block, you stand in front of him.
You want to come this way? Nope.
Nope. W again,
another
and here's SONSTAR.
Another cocoon.
Maxlore actually... No,
And they all back away.
Yeah, they all yield.
Okay,
their pentakill overlord.
Good setup. Yeah. SONSTAR right there just felt he was like in the shooting range. He like just stood still. It's like Q, auto, Q, auto.
You get a Q, you get a Q.
Yeah. Everyone gets a Q, and I get a pentakill. Well, yeah, that was a very interesting one. I don't think I've ever witnessed a pentakill quite like that before.
Just a handoff? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but 8-1 and 6. SONSTAR got to be feeling happy. 16-7 currently in this game. A lot of kills happened over the last maybe 5 minutes or so. Giants are significantly far ahead in terms of gold and tempo and pretty much everything, macro, micro, everything thrown in there.
I mean, I don't think we have to throw tempo in here. Yeah, they're in phase 17 of the lane swap. They're definitely leading.
Yeah, here you can see the rotation to bot lane with a follow-up. All of the sequence of plays. Rest in peace, minion.
Yeah, Smittyj could teleport to any minion to make it invulnerable. Likely going to wait until they hit the base. Panic engage here could happen from the unicorns. At this point, it's almost impossible to play out.
But, I mean, Giants, definitely the underdogs going up against even Unicorns of Love here, but are probably going to go 2-0 on the day.
Yeah, they're definitely poised to take the match home series in a 2-0. Take one tower down, get the spare tower back up in the background in case they randomly get flanked when you can run. Maokai's pushing topside too. Making good use of split push here. I think the Baron buff faded right now, so these minions probably going to stay up too long. It's going to be incredibly hard for them to get it on this siege.
There's still minions in the mid lane that are actually dissipating.
Yeah, Smittyj is actually looking to teleport because that's why he's hiding. He's not pushing on.
Big damage out from Knight onto Exileh and Veritas. He'll probably have to go back to base and try and regen that while the next minion wave is coming in.
Yeah, I think this is where Giants back off, spend some of their hard-earned money. Maybe pick up a very early Cloud Drake as soon as they can.
Yeah.
To accelerate the spawn of Elder.
That would be good for them. Another thing on the map for them to try and get going.
They have the mid lane minions pushing in right now, though.
Yeah.
Which could give Smittyj access to TP in for a flank. It might actually be a better play.
Yeah, Veritas is the one who has to try and clear that out. Wow, the tower is just dying
so
quickly.
Gone.
Wow. Giants just destroy that tower. Veritas drops low. It's going to have to be the heal to try and keep him alive. Repel comes up and down. And move will back on off. Giants now taking this inhibitor as well. 2 inhibs down for Giants, and this is looking almost unrecoverable for the Unicorns.
Obviously, the mid lane inhibitor was down, so they just waited with bated breath for those minions to push in, draw away one of the key wave clear components in Veritas. He had to deal with that, and then suddenly they could just walk up, no threat. You know, enemy tank engages out, enemy AD carry is no longer there. Viktor can only maybe one-shot one of us as he dies in the process. So Giants, good awareness, and they take down 2 inhibitors right now. The world is their oyster.
Well, at least Summoner's Rift is, for sure. Move is just trying to grasp everything he can for now. It's going to be the Gromp and goes back into the top lane, try and take this one away. But really, Unicorns of Love need to try and get everything they can. And let's try and defend what I feel is probably going to be like one last fight as Giants push in. Just under 2 minutes until Baron. Giants can happily just wait for the next 90 seconds and just put wards around the area, set this one up, maybe wait for Unicorns of Love to come to them. Like, it's so easy for them. They have so many options right now. Yeah,
they almost don't have any bad choices as long as they stay relatively grouped here. Exile.
And the Burning Summoners.
It was actually moved. I just had to flash over. Oh, Veritas actually.
Yeah.
Just forced out in a position where they shouldn't be, but at this point it's almost impossible. Let's see if they have the same patience here for Smittyj to push up the mid wave. Unicorns of Love definitely looking to pull the trigger here. Panic engages. Move. If he had flash, he would want to flash in. Smittyj. X-Smitty.
X-Smitty, yeah. 0, 1, and 7 in this game. The tanks have been just doing their job. Maxlore is actually surprisingly tanky, where we saw him get hooked before and just even 4 people just couldn't do enough damage to him before Knight came in and swooped in and saved the day. And Smittyj is coming into this bot lane. Well, I guess Knight did exactly what we were talking about earlier. The damsel in distress was saved. Here comes the engage out from Unicorns of Love. Chachi, unable to get the engage off there. Exile's going to launch himself back to safety, but the re-engage from Chachi, I'm not sure the rest of the team wants this. Giants are still pretty healthy, honestly. And Knight's just going to go back to full HP. In the bottom lane, the super minions are going to town.
They call the go, and Chachi gets his dredge line stuck on the edge while he's trying to go for support out of all champions. What a meager attempt at an engage here. Good kiting. SONSTAR almost screwed over Knight by carrying over the Death Charge on top of him.
And the Giants will, for now, back off. They still have dealt a lot of damage to that base.
They're going straight to Baron because
like,
it's spawning in 2 seconds right now. They have the vision. Move face checking. Has to be so careful every rush, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Smittyj is injured, so is Maxlore, but they have heals from both those champions. And Unicorns of Love are completely blind here. They don't even have anyone really in range of a blue trinket, and they can't see inside the Baron pit. That's going to go over to Maxlore, very easy for him. Hylissang comes out, and SONSTAR tries to make an aggressive play. The rest of the team is actually backing off and almost gets dredge lines in. Yeah. SONSTAR will have to try and get out of here, but I think
the highlight reel.
Yeah, he's safe. He took a very risky way, though. He went over the thickest part of that wall, so that could have gone very badly. But still, made that happen. And Veritas will try and clear out the bottom way, but this is just going worse and worse for Unicorns of Love now. Giants, honestly, it's just a matter of time, I feel, before they finish this one out. 13,000 gold advantage, 12,000, close enough. And then they have the Baron on top of that. Like, what are Unicorns of Love going to do? Yeah,
they're just going to shove in as well, take these 3 inhibs, they're going to respawn, stick together to learn from their mistakes. Unicorns, they're probably going to try and flank again, obviously. I mean, Vizicacsi's trying to find an opening, but...
Not even sure if they win the fight if they get into
No, it's almost impossible, yeah. But you obviously never want to surrender on stage.
Yeah.
Never know if somebody critically missteps, misses a flash, flashes into the wall.
Anything can happen. But honestly, Giants just need to play this safe, and it will be the closeout to this game. There is the last Elemental Dragon before Elder, but I'm not even sure we're going to see the appearance of Elder in this game, honestly.
There you go.
Puck does not land onto the target that Chachi wanted it to, and he burnt the flash for that engage as well. Plus Veritas' ultimate. And now they have to back away, and Giants will just take away everything they own.
Yeah, noble attempt to strike before Smittyj can enter the fray. No teleport was available on him, so that essentially could have been a 4v5. Look at Knight right now. He is looking, where do I put my ultimate? Do I even need to use it? SONSTAR shifts in for some poke.
Yeah, Hylissang's taking a lot of damage. Everyone from Unicorns has taken so much damage. They do get a return kill onto Maxlore, but they'll lose the mid laner and support for a double kill for SONSTAR. Let's make this the double penta of the game, boys. As we move in onto the Nexus turrets, Chachi will go in there. SONSTAR's moving on to Veritas. Big damage out from the Mystic shot. We've got Elise coming in once again. Chachi's going to get chased down by the Maokai, who's going to finish him off by himself with the help of the super minions. SONSTAR's probably going to get his consolation prize here as he chases people onto the fountain. Now is a good time to have him on your fantasy team, ladies and gentlemen. Giants find the 2-0 on the week. Yeah, 2-0 there for Giants. And for sure, I don't think anyone saw SONSTAR as a sleeper pick in fantasy, but here we are, 10-1-7.
I mean, I wouldn't even, like, if you were that guy that put him on, like, I don't even know if that was the right decision, even in hindsight. But SONSTAR definitely showed up here. Good arrows in game 1. Was liberated, I feel, by Knight zoning, especially in this game. I think the brunt of the work still went to Knight. I think SONSTAR shined through, but like in the critical moments when the game was close, Knight was definitely the major influencer in these fights.
A lot of problems for the Unicorns of Love. Kind of weird watching their games because they'll do so well against some teams and so badly against others, and there's just a lot of mistakes.
The single Giants. That's Bob.
That's Bob right there. We found him.
In adversity, when an entire crowd is cheering for the Unicorn. One man, one palm, slightly sweaty, has a mission.
He's weak. He will high-five the entire team. But the Unicorns of Love still got that fan support despite the game result. But, yeah, well played to Giants.
Yeah, and they'll need it.
Yeah.
Unicorns, definitely not the first or the last shaky game of them this season. It was nice for me to see for Giants that their early games that they usually play out very well comes to fruition. It's so easy to say, you know what, this team is bad or that, no communication, but they were having good early games, but they're just obviously not nailing the mark in the mid to late due to being a new team, some rookie players, some imports as well. To make all that work is rough, but all they need to do from Giants' point of view is beat the people that are likely to finish around them in the standings, and they did that convincingly. 3 points against the Unicorns.
This is exactly what we said before this series even began though, Crepo, right? They need to pick up these wins now, early on into this split, which will help them a lot when we get into the later parts, of course. But I feel like in this set, we really just saw all the strengths of Giants come together. As you already mentioned, like the early game, the team fight, Knight was having some great highlight moments, SONSTAR was having a great game. Like, his team was literally setting him up for pentakills. So
I mean, I like what Smittyj brought to the table too on his tanks. You know, game 1 Gragas for me was still I feel like he almost did more than Knight in terms of player of the game there, because his engages were just so spot on many of the times. Maxlore, despite fighting against that level 1 invade game 1 of Hylissang, putting him a full level behind, he stayed calm, focused on the farm first, then the skirmishes later. Yes, I mean, there was some faults there, some missed spears that should hit against better teams you would get punished for. But Giants, you know, as a bottom tier team, quote unquote, I mean, they surprised.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, they got so far ahead from those early game advantages in this game that they could make pretty much anything work. Like, Maxlore just walked into mid lane, almost, well, he got caught, and then it was just like they're so far ahead, everyone could just stop what they were doing, go into mid lane, and just murder UOL.
Yeah, and if you look at this team composition as well, especially on the side of Giants, it's quite complex to play unless you have pressure in the mid lane. And we have to praise Knight there, because when he plays matchups where you could kind of rest on your laurels and just don't do anything, he does commit to the pressure. Sometimes it comes out to bite him, but he definitely makes it so that he's always pushing and at least whittling down the enemy tower, and it allows Maxlore to maybe go for an extra invade, Knight to peel off of the fight earlier. Remember that first Infernal Drake fight that we had? Could have been game over right there because Knight had the pressure in the mid lane continuously. Yeah,
there's still cracks in the armor, but I think going over to Unicorns of Love, they were trying to run crazy stuff in the mid lane. Of course, they had the Yasuo in the first game. This time, they brought the Nautilus into the top lane and the Viktor as well. But I mean, like, they weren't doing anything crazy in this game in terms
there
of
was no comp loss here. This definitely was a winnable comp. Clear win conditions. They got the lane swap too. I think the fault is all their own. The way they approach the game, the fact that they do that dragon before they finish the tower, while taking the tower, for me is just, don't like it. It's such a risky play. Could have gotten punished even harder. They don't synergize their engages. Chachi was throwing his anchors into a wall. It was sloppy.
It was. We've seen a lot of sloppy plays today, honestly. But yeah, I was just looking at the damage graphs, and Knight was just doing so much damage. Even SONSTAR, actually, even though he was like collecting a lot of the last hits, he was still doing a lot of damage in those fights. Yeah,
Knight definitely had the most damage in this game. But then obviously when SONSTAR cleans up, he gets a pentakill. I believe we have some footage of that too. You can just look at that. It starts with Maxlore kind of overextending, and again, good. Look at the space that Knight creates in this fight. You know, he influences 3 of the enemy members. SONSTAR takes down 1, then he draws the aggro of the 4 remaining ones. Well, obviously now SONSTAR can clean up, but this is all, not all, but this is the majority of this play goes down to Knight, solving a problem for his jungler, creating space for his AD carry.
Yep. And of course, the real MVPs of this game, Maxlore and Smittyj.
I really like the decision making here of the entire Giants lineup. Look at SONSTAR walks up, and just goes for the Q auto, W auto.
Walks away, and pentakill. Easiest penta of his life. Anyway, we're going to send it over to Pyra, who is on the side stage with Maxlore.
Thank you very much, Pulse. I'm joined by the jungler from Giants Gaming after their big 2-0 victory. Maxlore, congratulations on your first win of the split and your first win in the LCS so far. So tell me a little bit how you guys pulled that off. There was a lot of action towards that second game especially. What in your mind were the keys to the victory?
I think it was mainly the draft. I think Unicorns of Love gave too many power picks away. Like, I still think Nidalee is pretty OP. And they gave away Vladimir and Nidalee and like this game Azir, you know, stuff like this. So because they gave us so many power picks, we were able to abuse it, and it was just pretty easy in terms of teamwork to win.
And you definitely showed some pretty solid teamwork. Your team is seeming to come together much more, a lot better cohesion. Your fight positioning was pretty exceptional in game 1, not without a few mistakes in game 2, but you were able to take it all the way to the finish. Talking about power picks. You guys said you had a lot of them. We've talked a lot on our desks, on our analyst desks as well, about how strong a lot of these different champions are in 6.11. What do you make of this patch, and you know, how can you ban out teams with everything so powerful?
Just like Kiki said before, I think blue side, you're kind of forced to ban Ryze and Vladimir because these champs are just a bit unbearable. And Azir is pretty OP too and like has his perks, but yeah, I think it kind of sucks to be purple side right now because of the whole banning 2 mid laners, so your bans become really obvious. But yeah, I think actually, can you ask the question again?
Just what in general is, I guess you talked about the strategy of banning like purple side versus blue side. How do you as a team and you as a jungler adapt to this change on 6.11 where so many other powerful picks were banned, but then it opens the floodgates for all these other things like Vlad, Swain, etc.?
I mean, we pretty much just, since we're the only region, we're the first region to play in this patch, we may not be playing it correctly. Like, for example, we might be watching next week SKT playing something weird, but it will be like most OP. So I think anything, as long as you just play good, you'll win right now. And there are some picks you just have to experience through solo queue or scrims, just like YOLO it, and if it's OP, then it's OP, you know?
Yeah, it's always a good way to learn. All right, so for your team, you guys have finally found a win and a convincing one at that. Obviously, at a very, very tough schedule. You started off playing G2, Fnatic, H2K, some of the strongest teams we have here in Europe, so not off to an easy start. But with this win now, does it give you a bit more confidence? Do you think maybe, okay, so we're better than our record indicates, or do you think you still have a lot of work to do?
I still think we have a lot of work to do because in many of the LCS games, we sometimes get ahead early, but we just don't either play to our comp or don't know what to do because we just, like communication or just in scrims, we're not focusing on the right things. So I think this week we're going to train hard on, I think, mid-late game, which is our main issues right now.
Well, I can't wait to see how it all develops. Once again, congratulations on your win, Maxlore. For now, though, we are going to go ahead and send it back to the casters for their player of the game.
Thank you so much, Pyrotechnics, and we are back, and we are here with the player of the game. And who's it going to be?